Yes, hi. So now we are going to start Ishwaran the Storyteller by R.K. Narayan. So R.K. Narayan was a partner of same friends of Mukul Anand. We know, come to know Mukul Raj Anand, right? Mulk Raj Anand. He was also a writer. He was from Rasipuram. Rashipuram Krishna Swami Ayyar Narayan Swami was an Indian writer known for his work set in the fictional South Indian town of Malgudi. He was a leading author of early Indian literature in English along with Mulk Raj and Rajarao. Born on the 10th of October 1906, Madras Presidency, died on 13th May 2001 in Chennai. Full name Rasipuram Krishna Swami Ayyar Narayan Swami. His wife's name is Rajam Narayan from 1934 to 1939. And awards, his Filmfare Best Award for Best Story, Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan. His famous is the Malgudi Days, Malgudi Ki Kahaniya, The Guide, Swami and His Friends, The English Teacher, and these are his basic information about him that we know. And he was a leading author of many books, fictional South Indian town, the Malgudi Days. We remember, I have seen Malgudi Days a lot, and his actual mentor was another writer, was Mr. Graham Greene, was an instrumental English novelist as well, literally acclaimed, widespread popularity. So he used to be inspired by him and his mentor and his friend. So including the semi-autobiographical trilogy of Swami and His Friends in 1906 by R.K. Narayan, Swami and his friend called Malgudi Friend. So very beautiful thing. And the Bachelor of Arts, the English Teacher, the Final Expert, Sahitya Academy Award he got The Guide was adopted for film, and Best Filmfare Award, Best Film, and for Broadway also, that's in America, he got it. And he has been compared to William Faulkner. William Faulkner is a writer and Nobel Prize laureate from Oxford, Mississippi. So he's been compared to that, and awesome person and beautiful. He was also nominated in the Rajya Sabha in the upper house of India's parliament. Sahitya Academy Fellowship, he was always there. Padma Bhushan, Padma Vibhushan, and the A.C. Benson Medal, the A.C. Benson Royal Society of Literature, he had got that from UK. So can you imagine what a nice writer he was. So we'll go to Ishwaran the Storyteller. I'll just brief you. This is a story about Mahendra, a junior supervisor, and his cook Ishwaran. Ishwaran was the cook. So Farmer had to keep moving from place to place as ordered by the head office, but he had fortunately an expert caretaker, Ishwaran, who cooked his meals, washed his clothes, and chatted with him at night. So his work, Mahendra's work was quite a look like he was into this factory supervisor type of thing. So wherever a factory used to be installed or whatever used to happen, he has to go everywhere, whichever place he had to be needed, he was shifting. So this is how Mahendra used to be, and he was a junior supervisor in a firm, and he in a firm which offered on hire supervisors at various types of construction sites. Sometimes he was sent to the factory, sometimes bridge dams, and Mohandra's job was to keep an eye on all the activities which is happening. He was a site supervisor actually. So as per the company site, he used to go from there. So then he was ordered to go from a coal mining area to a railway bridge construction site. From there, after a few months, to a chemical plant which was coming up somewhere. So this is all about Mahendra. He was a bachelor. His needs were simple, and he was able to adjust himself to all kinds of odd conditions, whether it was an ill-equipped circuit house or a makeshift canvas tent in the middle of a stone quarry. But one asset he had with him was his cook, Ishwaran, the great storyteller. The cook was quite attached to Mahendra and followed him uncomplainingly wherever he was posted. He cooked for Mahendra, washed his clothes, chatted away with his master at night. He could weave out endless stories and anecdotes on various subjects. So What do we come to know from this is he was a tough type of person, Mahendra, and he did not mind anything of tough situations he could take care of, and he was not worried about anything. So he was a tough guy. So as we know, so as supervisor, has to be tough. So he was there, and he used to be he was sent to all the places wherever the work used to be done. But his only precious things was uh, his cook Ishwaran. He used to take him everywhere. He was not changed. So Ishwaran was always there to keep him on his toes. Even if he didn't go to the movies or didn't go to any watch TV, he had these anecdotes always with him. Small short stories he used to tell him about something happened, something amazing and all. So Ishwaran also had an amazing capacity to produce vegetables and cooking ingredients seemingly out of nowhere. In the middle of a desolate landscape with no shops visible for miles, he would miraculously conjure up to the most delicious dishes made by fresh vegetables within an hour of arriving at the zinc sheet shelter at the new workplace. Zinc sheets are those asbestos sheets. So tin asbestos sheets are called zinc sheets. So Mahendra would be up early in the morning and leave for work after breakfast, carrying some prepared food with him. Meanwhile, Ishwaran would tidy up the shed, wash the clothes, and have a leisurely bath, pouring several buckets of water over his head, muttering a prayer all the while. It would be lunchtime by then. After eating, he would read for a while before dozing off. The book was usually popular Tamil thriller running through hundreds of pages. Its imaginative descriptions and narrative flourishes would hold Ishwaran in thrall. He used to thriller, murder mysteries, or action-packed something. So he used to doze off while sleeping. So these things got influenced in him. So we come to know that Ishwaran was this cook who was very smart, and he was also very fast, and he loved his boss also, Mahendra. So he used to cook very good food for him. So whatever the situation is, Mahendra used to never have less food, or he used to have no problem, and he was his TV type of thing. So his own descriptions were gladly influenced by the Tamil authors that he read. When he was narrating even the smallest of incidents, he would try to work in suspense and a surprise ending into the account. For example, instead of saying that he had come across an uprooted tree on the highway, he would say, with eyebrows suitably arched and his hands held out on a dramatic gesture, "The road was deserted and I was all alone. Suddenly I spotted something that looked like an enormous bushy beast lying sprawled across the road. I was half inclined to turn and go back, but I came closer. I saw that it was a fallen tree. With its dry branches spread out, Mahendra would stretch himself back in the canvas chair and listen to Ishwaran's tales uncritically." So, wonderful fellow, yeah, comic type of person, right? So, great. So, I'll come back in the next video and I'll give you the explanation, okay? So, hold on.